xxxtentacion has released, well, I'm sorry, the label has released a posthumous album called Bad Vibes Forever. Now, originally, I wasn't going to cover this project as I didn't cover the last one, as I was conflicted on whether or not to cover any more projects beyond that point, because I knew I hadn't been much of a big fan of xxxtentacion while he was on this earth, and I didn't want to, you know, wholeheartedly disrespect the man or accidentally say something offensive about him to his fan base, knowing how sensitive some of them can be. But after remembering that this man passed, a lot of these decisions are going to be made from the label. So if there's something that I find that I really don't like, I can blame them for it and not the kid. Also, I really want to piss off the people that have been dragging his name through the mud, as he's already in the mud, requesting people like me not listen to his music anymore so as no longer to support the man. Listen, he's dead. I don't get how much more canceled you can be than that. He's got a family, he's got a son on the way, I believe, all whom have nothing to do with what this man did while he was alive. So that made me want to listen to the project even more just to piss them off. This is just more label action to make their money back because they invested in an individual who unfortunately did not live out their lifespan enough to pay them back. So this is the best way they know how to make money. I want to see what they did with this material that he left, because maybe they created something special or decent out of it. But almost every song has a feature. I don't know what I'm doing here. I warned y'all on Twitter that I didn't want to listen to this thing on camera, because if I found something that I didn't like, I was gonna wild out. This dude, while he was alive, told me that I can be too harsh. I don't pride myself off of that, but I love being blunt and honest, and if there's something that I really don't like, I'ma go in. Track number 1 is Introduction.
And it was just like, I'm trying to go there off energy, I'm trying to go there off effort. Let me be a prince, let me be a king.
So yeah, intro is him being the best version of himself that he wants to be while he's alive, and telling people that he wants to just be who he is and live out his days, make his mistakes, be a regular human being, even while in the public eye, facing scrutiny for the actions and mistakes that he's halfway admitting to on this intro. But I gotta admit, the looped little warped instrumental going on in the background, this haziness, makes me feel like I'm listening to the intro of a Rugrats film. Really hazy and grainy and misty. Track number 2 is X Bitch. Now, I don't know how we got there from the first one. You can always give me with the guitar.
Please open your legs, bitch. No, I'm not your daddy, bitch, but I can be your daddy, bitch. Daddy body, you a real bad bitch with an attitude. No, those cool. There we go.
I like it.
I just found my ex bitch, pull up on the next bitch, like what's up, get me your daddy bitch.
You know, the more and more I listen to the song, I'm just like, lyrically, can we just stop with the daddy talk? Cause it's weird. I'm never gonna say it's not weird. Being called daddy is just weird. It's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. You can't say, please open your legs, I can be your daddy, and then in the same area say, I bet your daddy's proud of you. Like, what are we doing here anymore at that point? Banning the word daddy 2020. Let's make it happen. Overall, though, I really like the song. The acoustic guitar and the soft melody within his voice going on there. I like it. I like his range. I think he's doing good on that track. Next track is Ugly. We're back at it with the guitar again. Yeah, that track had nothing for me. It had no build-up. It had no nothing for me to grab and hold on to. It's like walking through a misty village filled with no people, and then you just see this dark figure at the end, and you're just being ever so slightly pulled in. And it's actually pretty frightening when you think about it. I mean, if you're an xxxtentacion fan and you're listening to this music, this might make you feel good, because it might make you feel like he's still around based off the music here. It's really ghostly, this track, really empty, but there is a definite presence here, and I don't know if that presence is great or bad. The next track, Bad Vibes Forever, featuring PNB Rock and Trippie Redd. I think I've heard a part of this song. The guitar is kind of like a trademark of emo rap now, and I'm accepting of that. I just wish they'd do a little bit more with it. I know they've only got X amount of material, no pun intended, from this man X, so they can't do too much. But I think PNB Rock and, you know, xxxtentacion and Trippie Redd do well over acoustic, you know, music. At the same time, it's getting hard to differentiate, you know, if these tracks are finished xxxtentacion tracks or not, because if you listen to his past work, they aren't too much different in length. To put it simply, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these were finished X tracks based off of the material that he used to release. Track number 5, School Shooters, man. Even in the grave, controversial.
Cool, I got internet, yo. Kid at school calling me different, right? Intellect mixed with inner stress. That's a recipe for disaster.
What? Bro, stop. You're ruining it. You're like, what are you doing? Stop. These lyrics are awful. I know they're not advocating for or justifying the actions of what this would be, but still, like, what? Are you really seriously trying to just tell me that every school shooter had intellect and inner stress? Like, that's the recipe? Ask any chef? Bro, stop. Stop. That is trash. I don't know if they were strumming a guitar either for the background. I think I'm wrong on that, but like, Jesus. What is wrong with the... Why would you even put that out?
Give me bad grades, I don't give a F. Get in front of my classmates and kill my...
Oh my God. I played it for a second. I'm skipping this song. You single-handedly made both X and Lil Wayne look bad. I hope Wayne didn't write that verse. I really hope he didn't write that verse. Next track is I Changed Her Life. Rick Ross? I mean, I get it. They're both from Florida. Let me chill.
Said, oh my God, I changed your fucking life.
Yeah, jealousy is obvious. No, I don't need a lens. Wonder what William, Russian roulette.
You know what's wild? Like, I like the Rick Ross verse, but like all these verses, you could literally fill up the rest of these songs with content, and then they're just like, nah, let's do it the way X would have wanted it when he was alive. Like, I guess he liked making short songs, and that's okay, but like the song never can fully realize itself because like there's no real climax. Like, what we have to work with are like some broken, fragmented X vocals that are mixed extremely oddly, and then we have a very clear Rick Ross verse that really does nothing for the song. Next track is Triumph. Oh my God. See how they wasting 10 to 20 seconds of the intro with the guitar? And then it sounds like some tracks are just like extensions of a never fully realized idea. Some songs, okay, they make sense to be short. Maybe there's nothing that needs to be said. Maybe you're just putting his vocals in here and there, and then you're adding a feature in between, even though the song never needed to be made in the first place. But then you've got another track like this one where it's like the point of it is, you know, it's a ballad, you know, somewhat like she's all I need or whatever he's trying to say, and then that idea is stretched out over the course of what, 2.5 minutes, when it really could have ended after 1.5 minutes. Like, he doesn't say anything more. I just think like his voice is just looped. Track number 8 is Limbo featuring Killstation. I don't know how to feel about this one. I really don't. I like Killstation. So yeah, I mean, like, these songs are acting as like loops, and like he's coming in, Killstation, and then X is coming in. They're like their entrances and their exits are so predictable. And again, I'm not blaming X for any of this. I'm really just blaming the label for how they're utilizing the remainder of the content that they have from this man. And I've decided to pair up with these acts because in a lot of ways it feels like a compilation record filled with all the people that X may have wanted to work with but never actually got to, and this is the result of it. I don't know what this track is supposed to do or what it's supposed to be. It's just really predictable. It's really safe, you know, and it's really, it takes zero risks. And I get you, there's only so many risks you can take with a record that has its starlight in a very restricted format. But I'm just tired of hearing the whole indie metal, indie rock thing constantly, you know, being reused and regurgitated in the acoustic balladry. Like, I get it. I know what you're doing. I've heard you do it before. I've heard it back in 06. Track number 9, Before I Realize. Another fucking guitar. Am I really listening to this? I am. What a fucking idiot. Look, if you like this song, I'd probably hand you a voice memo of X breathing over a stove starting up, and you'd probably like that too. Track number 10, Oh God, no Cyrus, Jesus Christ. Why is this the one that's 4 minutes? I don't know what these are, but I'm ready to take all of them.
So that your wrist would get active right. Never that way. Your mind, of course, will kind.
Hey yo, we ain't come here to do none of that weird stuff, man. Like I felt myself getting attached to a certain part of it, just so empty. I really have a question for the artists who participated in the album afterwards. Did you not like look at this and be like, nah, I'm not gonna do it? Like regardless of the bag that I might get, like, nah. Track number 11 is Kill My Vibe featuring Tom G. This is a little bit more my speed right now, come on.
Nigga like this, okay.
You just fucked it up, alright? Thanks, Tom!
I'm so high, I'm so fly.
He's back! You know, Tom G sounds like he's rapping with one of those tubes in his throat. Like, I don't need this. Tom G killed my vibe because I was vibing with X in the harmonization. He could have done that for like 30 seconds. I'd have been cool. Not really. Hot Gyal featuring Tory Lanez. Please don't be another. It was another feature. Oh God, this is over. What is about to be a Spanish cut? Please don't, Lord.
He's
doing a Jamaican accent and harmonizing at the same time over auto-tune. Wow. Yeah, after a certain point, I gotta question the artists, bro. Granted, I don't know if they hear the full song before they send this in right here, but you gotta ask, like, yo, what's that gonna sound like if I lay my verse down? And then you get this back and you still say okay, something's wrong with you. You clearly wipe back to front. That's the problem. I mean, some of these cuts is just like, yo, let's be a part of this project, and then like let's use X as the foundation for it, and let's prop up all these other artists. Like, that's just really weird to me right now. 13 is the only time I feel alive. Does this have any features on it? It probably will, because yeah, why not? Yeah, who's featured? Just do it. Let me down.
I
want to die now. Okay, so I don't know who to put the blame on this time, because like, was this dude X always in rough draft mode? Surely they have one song that he completed. That weird transition from the intro song to this acoustic, you know, both in the bathroom peeing together cut, like that. Why even include it? Oh God, the interlude that never.
She's been waiting in the
That was the whole song, my guy. Like, just as a label with like some integrity behind the product that you're putting out, why would you consciously put someone's voice in that and just be like, yeah, they'll buy it, they'll stream it? Nah. It's trash. Belly button juice. Okay, this might be promising. Dæmons, is that demons or Dæmons? Oh God.
Fucking buckling up for every moment I count. Let me see what Jesus by my visions, which is what gonna show.
That intro is so edgy.
Baby, I can't call it. I need my soul in these bars like an alcohol that resides in the beast stomach.
He's flowing.
I couldn't go to the bathroom without getting some secondhand heroin. How I piss it. Me, edibles and a bean. Niggas stole my denim jeans. Niggas even took credit for the man I would be. And if I let him hear,
I liked Kemba and I liked Joey on that track a lot. I don't know what they did to X's voice on that track. I don't know why they decided to keep the edgy lyrics in there, but they did. And they said, hey, let's make this man look bad and not just keep Joey and Kemba on a little separate interlude. Nah, let's just force them on everything. Track number 16 is Attention. Also, that last track, I love the piano. Are we gonna get this the whole song, or is it gonna go anywhere? Finally a finished song! Even on the songs that are somewhat finished, they still sound really short in comparison to the average song, but I've come to expect that from this dude while he was living, so that's not too much of a disparity between what I feel he would have given me on his own project if he were still here, so I'm alright with that track. That one was cool. I like the trap flavor. Love it. Let's go to the next track. Track number 17. Eat it up.
Oh my dude. Oh my wrist. Oh, Charlie Sheen, you.
You don't want to bring up Charlie. Maybe that's not the best person to bring up when you. I didn't think it was possible but they managed to ruin the Ronnie J beat. Track number, I don't know, Voss featuring Sauce Walka. Water like Voss, guys. These niggas serious. Like they serious. Water like Voss. Oh, I've liked 3 out of 20 tracks. Royalty. Oh my god. Wow. Like I only got 5 tracks left, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Wanna Grow Old. Wow, that sucks.
Let go. I was stuck inside of yesterday.
Whose cousin is this? Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that track. It's really soft, really laid back. Energy is very gentle. I enjoy it. Jimmy did his thing, man. Good job, Jimmy. Whoever's cousin that is, tell him he did a good job. But I know based off the title of this track, Stan Twitter is gonna go on a rampage with the jokes. Somebody gonna screenshot it and be like, wanted girl, Hearteater. Where have I heard this before? The strings are matching his voice. So yeah, I mean that track I would have loved more, I guess, had it, you know, actually done more. But you know, as per usual with most of these tracks, we're getting very little content that is just stretched out into 2 minutes plus sometimes. So that was Hearteater. Enjoyed it though. Track number 22 is Northstar featuring Joyner Lucas. Oh my god, how are they going to ruin this? Instrumental's doing it by itself.
I ain't getting married to my dick drop, yo. I just want to hit it to flip flop, yo. I don't want kiss, I don't lip lock, yo.
I don't know what's going on. Like, the songs, they're just so trash. Chase, Glass Shards.
What are you doing out in the middle of this field?
Trying to find some happiness. I don't know who's trying to be Suicide Boys or Puya, and then they're ripping them off like horribly. Also at the same time sounding extremely like lowball. Like who? Like this is music that I listen. This is alt metal that I listened to when I was what 9, 10, 11 years old. My god, it's 2020. 24 is Numb The Pain. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of upset about this because it's like, did you really as an executive or as a label take someone's vocals that they recorded that sounds like it's them taking a shit on the bathroom toilet in a stall and make it into a 1:19 track on an album posthumously? That's just so, I don't know how like there's just sell $100 t-shirts for like merchandise. This is just awful. It really is. You took someone taking a dump on the toilet and said, yeah, let's make that a song. Not only does it sound like that, it also sounds like extra cuts that didn't make that track Numb off that question mark record. I don't know what to do with this, man. 25 is It's All Fading to Black.
I'm just a ghost in my own life. This goodbye.
That was the label Bad Vibes Forever. I have never heard such a low effort, weak attempt at trying to keep the aesthetic and ideas of an artist alive than this record. This is by far one of the most, I won't say disappointing because I didn't hold it to too high of a regard or standard prior to its release. I didn't expect too much from this project, but seeing how lazily they took what was left of this dude's concepts, ideas, and vocal experimentation and laid them into tracks with features that they not only didn't fit with, but over instrumentals that are extremely tacky, low budget, and also very reminiscent of a time that we are far ahead of. The creativity in the instrumentals and this, oh my god, let's put acoustic balladry over a guitar everywhere over the album to make it seem like and push the idea that X was really into different genres. I get it, but he was a rapper first. What is this? If I want to listen to some indie rock or some low effort folk, or I want to listen to some alt metal, I'll go listen to those artists, or I'll go back, make a time machine, and put myself in a period where I found that type of stuff interesting and compelling and forward thinking. I get that there's only a certain amount of things that you can do with a record that has a limited amount of material from an artist that is no longer with us. I get that. But I'd rather you just not make it or scrap it. Because when I get 25 tracks, you really stretch the remainder of this guy's material out for 25 tracks and couldn't even make more than 3 of them enjoyable. Wait, either musically, lyrically, feature-wise, instrumentally, you did something crazy or experimental or forward-thinking. I'm not the only one. I'm recording this early and I know I'm not the only one. The pacing of this album is terrible. And it's not like a Lil Peep record that was released earlier this year where it seemed as though these were just loosies, extra cuts, but they were still somewhat realized songs. They didn't stretch the album into anything more than what you might see included in a documentary, what you might see recorded in like a vlog, or like this artist's last few experiences. I would have preferred them release a secret footage filled with you know, X behind the scenes touring, or maybe he's behind the scenes doing shows. That would have been much more well received, I'm sure, even for his fan base, than stretched out material that was never fully realized by him, that was always in its rough draft period. And if anything, I think it makes xxxtentacion look worse as an artist, because some of this, I'm gonna be honest with you, you can't differentiate if it was from him while he was in the rough draft period or if it was him actually realizing this song. Because one of my bigger complaints with the dude and listening to his music earlier on was that it never felt like he completed any of the work that he was putting out. It felt like they were always these loose, weakly structured ideas that were just thrown into albums. They literally stop songs and do these weak transitions into different instrumental choices, and then it's not even contextually the same artist. It's not even contextually the same emotion or the same feeling. They took a rap record and changed it into an acoustic cut halfway through. If you're wondering where Ski Mask the Slump God is, if you're wondering where a Denzel Curry might have been, if you're wondering where artists that you feel like he sounded better while he was alive making music with are, I feel like they intentionally stayed away from this, knowing that they couldn't do anything complete or concrete with what he had left. Man, this thing was so trash. Like, there's really no point or reason in explaining too long why it's trash. Like, we know why. I'm not blaming the guy. I'm not blaming X. I'm really not, you know, because I would like to think that he would have released something slightly more entertaining than this. At least something slightly more structured. I can't. Like, this is awful. Wow, 25 tracks that they decided to strip away from this dude, from what he had left, in order to get some money back. I can't believe it. This album is terrible. Honestly, this album is trash. Whoa. Worst thing I think I've heard this year. Honestly, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it.